I knew that I was a little bit unhinged when do you know what? I actually don't even know where this came from, but all of a sudden I'd realized that I had like an irrational fear with buses. Hear me out, right? But I had an irrational fear that if you get on the top deck, bottom deck, fine, breezing through. If you get on that top deck of a double decker bus and go round the corner, I had an irrational fear that the bus will fall on the side. Don't ask me where that came from, who, what, when, where, and why. Who, what, when, and where. How did we get right here? Like, no, no, no. I have no idea. I've not been on a bus for a while. But if I do go on a bus, it's like a single layer. I don't do the double glazed. And that just came from, I don't even know when or how. I think I'm okay now. Do I need to talk to Frank? Well, obviously not, but anyway, do you have any irrational fear? Did you ever have irrational fears growing up? Because mine was that. I don't know whether it still exists or not. Welcome to In the DMs, where I go through the funny, bizarre, and unhinged trending topics that we see on social media. Yes, social media. Welcome back. I'm George. Do you know what? I have to preference this by saying thank you for getting active in the comments. I mean, we're only talking one or two, a couple, but it still does mean a lot knowing that you're engaging with the content. And I've also been thinking whether, because news travels so quickly, and sometimes by the time that I talk about it on a Sunday, do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's a little bit old. So I'm wondering whether to start bringing out the episodes on like Wednesday and Sunday so that I'm hitting it at two different points within the week. Who knows? But that's what's been going on in my head. As always, another entertaining week of news and entertainment. Who should I kick off with? Let's have a little butchers. Okay, cool. So I've actually seen this. I can't even remember where I saw it now. I'll have to double check. But people have started to AI their food going bad so that they can get a refund via these delivery services, DoorDash, Deliveroo, Uber Eats. Now, what in the broke-ass, lame-ass, trifling-ass, $1 holla, food token lover, cheap old behaviour is that? But also, what app are you using? LOL. No, but AI, boy, people are using AI for some unhinged things. There was me thinking like going into the trials and tribulations of my life via the voice service was a little bit tapped. But knowing that people are swindling their meals, their 30 quid meal. I mean, to be fair, meals these days, they can cost a dime a dollar. So, you know, your 60 quid meal, you're AIing it with a bit of food poisoning in there. Add a little bit of color grading, and you're getting your money back. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's just like the bunch that are doing that are going to end up ruining it for the masses that genuinely do experience problems with their food. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer. It is genius, mind, because I feel like we pay enough in this world, let alone having your locals up the road charging interest on every bit of grub that you decide to consume from them. But I don't know what these companies are going to do. They're going to have to create something where they can like, because you know, like when you take a picture, it has like a code behind it. They're going to have to just read codes. They're going to have to create like an AI that can read codes to work out whether the picture has been AI moderated or whatever, because you lot are tapped. Listen, never underestimate the human race, because they'll always think of another step ahead of the curb, and then get hit. Ay, ay, ay. Adios mío. Chris Brown back in the news once again. Baby mama drama. Listen, all I have to add about this situation, I'll add in little excerpts. I think Diamond, one of his baby mums, was piping up during the week saying that he's trying to stop the relationship that she's got going on with this guy by acting however Chris Brown acts. Then you starting to see that actually she's been messing around with one of his boys. Now Jada, his current gal, is piping up on social media, which, I mean, hun, things were left better off when you sometimes just stay quiet. But I think this is also a lesson for women within this. Discernment. There's something called discernment that I feel like we have to take accountability for, because we know what kind of guy Christopher Maurice Brown is. So toying in them people, them scenarios, you know, the internet is right there. We know what kind of fella he is. Getting up on the internet and doing quang quang quang, that ain't gonna change the type of guy he is. So I'm just seeing this baby mum go off. I'm seeing new baby mum go at it in the black screen and text. No. Oh, it's a long day at the inn. Oh, you knew. Like, we have to take some accountability. By the time that you're the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth baby mum, like, at this point, it's a you problem. You know who you're dealing with. Everything else, it's in the history books. You know what you're getting. So I don't even know what to say. We don't condone violence of any nature. We don't, if Chris Brown is out here trying to stop her from living her best life, if she wants to go and see one of Chris Brown's friends, you deal with your friend, man. Do you know what I mean? Boring. I don't know whether you saw the America's Next Top Model documentary, but one thing that we can take away from that is Little Miss Thang in her trench coat looking like Inspector Morse. Why was she in a trench? First of all, protecting them lies and the misdemeanors. But second of all, if lacking accountability could have one freeze frame, it would be Tyra Banks in that trench. Because I just saw a whole load of gobbledygook on that documentary. Like, you know, when you can just lack of sincerity, lack of, I don't know, like emotional development. And it was just really sad because I feel like that could have been a real opportunity. Because yes, of course, it was a different time with so much more #woke, you know, where so much more peace, love and unity in the community type vibe. We're so much more educated right here, right now, that of course, like we need to stand up, you know, right our wrongs, apologize for language, behavior, all of these things. And this could have been such a huge opportunity to do that. But Little Miss Trench was just sat there. I don't want to talk about it. Maybe give him a call. Yeah, maybe speak to him. Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah. It was just, you can read someone's facial expressions and understand where, like, and although I feel like across the board, accountability probably could have been elevated, but I feel at the same time, Mr. J, Miss J, Nigel, they had their fair share of ownership for what it is that they'd done and said, okay, yeah, like that was a bit harsh, or yeah, what they went through weren't good, or do you know what I mean? Like you could sense that there has been a shift from then up until now, and that there'd been an element of remorse with how they were delivering, you know, conversation. But Miss Tyra now, Hey, hun, sweetie. And then at the end, she goes and gives us an uppercut to the jaw by telling us she's excited for cycle 25. If audacity was a person. Oh, let me see if I've seen any, I know I've seen some threads. Someone said, like, in hindsight, this whole show really was a humiliation ritual. It's quite jarring to see these clips as an insult. Yeah, I mean, first of all, when was blackface ever okay? It's not okay then, and it's not okay now. What? You know, and even Tyra not visiting Miss J after having a stroke. Like, that's somebody that you spent how many... I could go on and on and on for days on end. I'm not going to lie, like, it actually did pull on my heartstrings watching that documentary. Sorry if I've just ruined it because you haven't seen it. But it did kind of get to me a bit for what those women had to go through, what they endured, how people felt whilst filming the show, wanting to tap out of it, being treated unfairly. Like, there was just so many layers to it, which was quite upsetting. And I'm happy now that those women can come and speak their truth, because obviously it's so important. Just understand the psychological impacts of what a show like that can do. And this isn't going to be the last, and it ain't going to be the first. Burna Boy has been announced as one of the headliners for Reggaeland festival. I mean, Burna Boy has been kept in business at these festivals every single year for as long as I can remember. And as much as we love to see all of his molars because he puts on a show and he smiles so bright, at some point, like, at what point do you as an artist take a step back and go, maybe this is a little bit too much? Maybe there's a little bit of overconsumption. Maybe for Reggaeland, somebody else from Jamaican diaspora could step in. You know, Chronic. Like, there's so many artists out there that could get way into performing. This is something that the Caribbean diaspora, I guess as a whole, have battled with. You know, look at Carnival, for example. Carnival, obviously, a huge celebration of Caribbean hereditary music, soca music. And then all of a sudden, we're getting trucks playing Afro beats and garage and funky house. And listen, I am a lover of all genres. But it was so understandable why they started sacking this off from the trucks and from the floats, and just sticking to its purpose. And listen, like, I get it. Do you know what I mean? You've got events like Afro Nation and etc. that focus a lot on Afrobeats music. Let us have our own thing. But at the same time, I don't even know what to say, because the people that own Reggaeland Festival are two white men. So can we even be surprised? No, we can't. We can't be surprised. Which is why it is a huge shame, because I feel like, you know, when that is a situation, cool, you can't help who things are ran by. However, you as an artist definitely are in a position where you can say no. And I know even myself that I've said no to things because I know that I don't feel fit for purpose for that job. And I feel like there's somebody else within the industry that can do that job a lot better. Like, I'm not a host that can go on stage and start like ramping up an audience, because that's not really my bag. Get me hosting a red carpet premiere, or do you know what I mean? Something else, a cheeky little comedy show, then yeah, cool, calm. But like, you know, do you know what I mean? It's also having that discernment within yourself to be like, okay, well, you know, but got a big ego, da-da. He's got a big... You know the song anyway. I'm not gonna sing it for y'all. What's your thoughts on gatekeeping food places and items of clothing. Because I saw something. Let me go and get to it. I asked a babe on TikTok which restaurant she went to as the seafood looked phenomenal. She liked the message. Anyway, I found the restaurant, but I just wanted to know why on earth are people so strange? And then somebody said, oh, they want us to beg for information. I'll just Google reverse the image and then find out where it is. People are saying UK girlies are weird like that. Listen, nobody owes you an answer. Nobody owes you their time, ultimately. If somebody wants to reply back and tell you that information, then that's amazing stuff. Also, if they decide to keep it from you, then nobody is obliged. Like, where did this entitlement come from? I'm sorry. Where? Do you know what I mean? Like me, if I have like, I don't know, every now and again, I'll reply back to DMs and let people know, like, if they're asking questions. Sometimes you could be caught, like, in between doing multitude of things, so you don't have the time to, you know, go back and do this and this. Sometimes if you've got one friend that asks you every single time about the running order of the contents of your wardrobe, then yes, okay, that does get to a point where it's a little bit jarring. Like, you want to keep something for yourself. If you have an amazing food spot down the road from your house and you don't want to advertise it because it's literally on the step of your door and you want some privacy, again, like, there's so many reasons as to why people could just be, do you know what I mean? There's so many contraindications as to why somebody might be a little bit more reserved about telling off information. No one's entitled to that. If they want to cough up the information, then great. If they keep it to themselves, it is what it is. I know for sure, if somebody slid into my DMs asking me 21 questions and they don't even follow me, forget about it. Forget about it. I'm not replying back. Sorry, that's the terms and conditions of my engagement. However, like, I mean, I'm not somebody necessarily that gatekeeps in that fashion. If I got time to reply, I'll reply. If you don't follow, forget about it. But same time, if I'm commenting on somebody's stuff on TikTok, Instagram, asking for something, where they got X and Y from, I don't expect a reply. If I get one, great. But do you think I'm going on social media to start fretting about it? Nah, people have got stuff to do. People have got lives. People have got vidas, you know? So just get on with it. As always, it's been a pleasure talking to you through the lens of a camera. Of course, if you have any trending topics, anything that you want me to cover, then let me know. Drop a comment. Let's start engaging. Hype this video up. If you can, it would be so much so appreciated. Follow me on social media if you haven't already. And I'll see you for the next episode of In the DM Trending.